Lost my train of thought. I don't even know.
We're talking about building a woman.
Welcome to Talks and Tings. We're just going to say that for the people who are watching. You lost the first 20 minutes, but we're just talking about some really amazing things about our daughter. So we're going to play it for you, and you're just going to watch this picture of us while it plays. Me for everybody. Hey-oh.
All right.
Bye.
Hey,
Sheldon.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your presence.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like it's a new woman every week I see you.
I am.
You are?
Yep.
You know, I love
it. I change.
It keeps it fresh for me. Isn't that like every 7 days or 7 years?
Whatever it wants to do.
I think it's every 7 years.
Whatever they want to do.
But it's not true. But whatever. Yes, I love your hair today. It's a little different than what it normally is.
I know.
But it's nice to see a welcomed friend back.
Oh, the straight-haired Mel?
Straight hair Mel. Yeah.
Yep. And you know what's crazy? So when I go to sleep, I just tie my hair. I don't wrap it all the time.
Yeah.
And then I just put it to the side so it doesn't crunch.
Fair.
But I think that's a bad idea because then it comes out like this.
Like a little
So
obtuse.
one side turns like this, and then the other side is like perfectly curved.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I got to figure that out.
Hey, it's
Anyways,
your hair. Right?
Tamla hairs today.
Yeah. It's interesting how the highlights stay. When was the last time you did your hair? Because this is how I met you.
A while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally keep a similar tone, but also under the highlight. So regardless of what color you see, the highlight still needs to have a base.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I saying? You still have to lighten your hair first.
Right.
So that base color under the actual color you end up with is going to be generally
Yeah, but then you see
standard.
it grow out because when you do your hair, you like all the way to the root will be colored.
Yeah.
And then you'll see over time all this new growth. I'm surprised your hair isn't a lot longer than it is, but yeah.
Because it looks longer too sometimes.
Yeah. But I guess because you cut it and stuff. Anyways, welcome back to Talks and Tings. I'm Shel.
I'm Melissa James Connell.
Coniel, if you're a Phoenix.
Coniel.
Coniel.
Our daughter's been saying that. It's kind of funny.
Honestly, I like it.
Coniel?
It's a little like, hello, I'm Sheldon Coniel.
Okay.
Coniel, because it's Neenell. It works. Anyways, I like it.
Sure.
It's better than Connell.
Well, I don't know why you guys have that as your
Connell.
name. I don't know where that really even.
Short form.
Yeah.
Connell. But Luna hears this on the podcast.
Yeah, she's trying to destroy the vibes.
She's like,
as usual. What is her problem?
Together.
But yeah,
quiet up until this time, completely silent.
Everything was fine, and now look at us.
Noise.
Look at us. We're trying to start this podcast. I hate you guys. No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, okay. Like we're gonna be famous, and she's blocking. Well, Luna.
Maybe she's jealous.
Maybe she wants to be on the podcast.
Maybe that's all she's really saying.
Sure.
Like, hey, what about me? What about me?
I hear that. Yeah. We're a pretty good bunch.
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
it's March. It's March, and we're still doing Parenting Month because March is about parents, and we want to celebrate the parents and bring education about parenting styles and parenting lifestyles and all that stuff. So, what is today's topic of choice?
So today's topic is our parenting styles and relationships. You're gonna have to go let her out at least.
Who's upstairs?
No one opens the door for her. I'm here during the day, so I know this. People don't want to open the door for our child.
Be more careful.
Luna, this isn't the time.
It was like,
all right, so what?
Talk about parenting styles.
Right?
Let me tell them how you guys parent
This is how we
me.
parent our dog. Get out of here. What have we learned about each other after witnessing how each of us parents?
Okay. After witnessing how each other parents.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's been 2 years now.
2 years.
Okay, well, 3 with this.
No, I'm going to count 2.
Who's just... Is she on camera? Can people... Yeah.
No, you can't see her. But
stop this.
Because she wants to be. She really has something to say. Luna, see my child. Luna, sit.
Down.
And stay.
Sit.
All right. So yes, parenting styles, Mel's parenting styles. Let me start with that. That's what I'm so.
Oh yeah, and describe my parenting style. I'll describe yours.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Or what I think.
All right. Mel is a wonderful mother. Definitely, I would say the stronger of us in terms of discipline for our child. And I love it because my little sweetheart is, it's so hard for me to be not angry, but to like hear when we had to do the sleep training and stuff. I felt like it was so hard for me. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do it. It was so tough.
It makes me wonder if I have a mother instinct at all. But anyways.
You do, because you have to like be hard or strict or else you'll never learn, right?
I guess.
But for me, so hard. Yeah. I'd have to like not even just leave the room, but I have to go like further away.
She manipulates you.
Easily.
Anyways, back to focusing on my parenting style.
But it might be because she's a girl. And I don't know, instinctively, I don't think I can be tougher with a girl versus a boy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's
based valid. On how I'm like.
You know, that might be the underlying reason why mothers are a little bit harder or appear to be harder with their girls and softer with their boys, because you still lean back into the gender role expected of a woman's relationship with a man and a woman's relationship with a woman, which is two different types of relationships, even though that's based on patriarchy, gender norms, all that sort of stuff. Everything but I don't think it's just what we're taught. I think also there's an innate nature within us to be a little bit softer with someone we don't fully understand.
That's true.
Because you don't just get off aggressive with people you don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I don't know the plight of a man the way I know other women. So I'm a lot more.
I don't know.
I have maybe less full understanding. So I feel like I would react to them a bit different.
Right.
Whereas I don't really understand your realities, your environment, your body situation.
Right.
So maybe I'm just like a little bit more gentle or leaning into trying to understand more. So that comes across as gentle.
Right.
I don't know. That's my theory.
Hey, maybe we're just trying to learn about the opposite genders and opposite sexes or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like you've definitely been or taken the tougher role with her, which has been necessary, because if it wasn't for that, she wouldn't be going to sleep on her own. She'd still be waiting for one of us to either go to sleep or to stay in there singing to her or to whatever, right? She'd still be manipulating.
Or in the bed, because last night she was in the bed when I went to sleep.
It's because it was late.
Yes.
It was maybe like 3:00. She woke up and I didn't want to have to.
She kept waking up. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, yo, we're going to sleep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tell us like, she was a bit stuffy, because usually when she's a bit sick, she tends to wake up a lot. But
it's like,
and also I wasn't in the room, and I usually am at that hour.
Right. And she just goes back to sleep when you're there. See, I'm telling you, you have her under manners.
No, I don't.
They're manners.
It took a lot of threats.
But yeah.
That's so sinister, yo.
Definitely you're also at the same time, you are the more excitable parent with her. Like, you're the one who's jumping and getting crazy with her, like showing her how to be the most joyful. Like you bring it to that extreme, like I'm going to show you extreme joy type of thing. So I can see her having like
that's a good thing,
just being around you. It's like a light to her, right? When she sees you, it's a light to her.
Oh, okay.
I've chosen. Well, I'm still speaking about you, sorry, not me.
Yeah, sir.
What else? But you're also the more feminine one. So you've also shown her how to tap into her feminine side, which she has fully embraced.
Is that just makeup and hair, sir? Not kidding.
No, just
no, it's true. Her princess side for sure.
Like, she's really tapped in based on what you've shown her and what.
Which is interesting, because I'm not super feminine like that.
No, but she
you know what I mean?
Taking a little bit you've given her, and she's like, "Oh, this is.
I love this. Yeah, this and I like that, because it shows it's not about you being super like, not super feminine, but the you don't have to be the trope of femininity.
No.
In order for femininity to translate. No,
just giving her the space to tap into those kind of things allows her to really be that.
Yeah.
Or embrace it and not feeling the way about it.
Thanks. I appreciate that. But continue.
Also, sorry. I didn't know. I got so many more things to say. Excuse me. You taught her about love.
Really?
You taught her about love. You show her gentleness for other creatures. You've shown her love for other people. being embracing, like, right, I find now she's learning how to be more open and of random people that she sees.
Yeah.
And I know that's not because of me.
Really?
So I definitely feel that she's seen you do it. She's can tell that energy's there. So she feels more like safe doing it and introducing herself and taking that sample, being a more personable person. So
wow. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that. Like you observing me is something I could never recognize in myself.
Yes.
So
you can't see
thanks
yourself
for that.
Through my eyes.
That's true.
You can't even barely see yourself through your own eyes.
But yeah. Anyways, you're right.
Yeah. So no, all around, I feel like you've done a great job being a mother, being a parent, and very interesting parenting styles.
Okay, what's one negative?
One negative?
Mm-hmm. Trauma.
Let's see. Negative thing. It's so hard to think of anything you do as negative.
Don't worry, I won't argue or be upset later.
Really.
I know, because I'm not
really as hard. It's like, I think I want to say we're great parents besides the little things, but
I genuinely think you're an amazing parent, I guess.
No, I don't think there's any negative things.
Or, okay, instead of negative, something that you're just like, I wish you wouldn't do that.
There's nothing yet. I would say like music and like dancing and just being mindful of what she's listening to and how she's dancing.
Fair enough.
Just because she could, like, say you put on a video and it could be simple as like a Victoria Monet or someone like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
We have to be aware of what she's seeing and receiving. Mm-hmm. And even though the music could be good, she's still taking in a visual of, it could be of a sexual nature, it could be a seductive nature, something like that, where I don't want her really tapping into that so soon.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? So
like
just
soft lips.
Exactly. That's one of her favorite songs.
Honestly.
And she doesn't really know the context of it.
She doesn't.
But that's her favorite line in that song.
But
so just being aware of that. But I think consciously we've become more aware of what she's listening to. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nice.
No problem. Now me.
All right. This is a support Sheldon session now. No, in terms of your parenting style, I think you're an amazing parent. I think you know that, but I'm going to say it again. Sheldon is a really good parent.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like you are really good at teaching her, especially the education side of parenting. So like learning her ABCs, her numbers, and then she'll do that when you're not looking.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll be like, oh, when did you learn all of this? So it's like, she may not show you probably in the moment that she's really getting all of it, but she really is. And so I credit that to you entirely.
Thank you.
Also, I love your initiative to make sure she talks about what she's experiencing and her feelings. And I'll never forget when you asked her how was her day or something, or you asked her if something happened in class and she's like, yeah. And she opened up to you. I was just there and she said, something happened. Like maybe someone hit her or something. I don't know. Something happened.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, you didn't ask, how are you? You asked an additional question that allowed her to open up. And I was like, wow.
I think I saw that somewhere. Like I might have seen it somewhere. And I'm like,
maybe I sent you the guide where it's like other questions to ask.
Probably, yeah.
And it's funny because I went back and there's a few things I've taken, but I keep wanting to go back to it.
But it's like you said, it's important because we get so used to like, oh, how's your day? Good. Okay. But there's more and they may not know exactly how to respond until they're prompted with certain questions.
It's true.
To really get into
it. And
I
saw that. I was like, wow, I don't even know. I didn't imagine you got it from somewhere. I didn't know. I just chopped it up to your innate ability to be a great parent because he's a really good parent.
Thank you. For learning along the way.
So partner and parent, you're fabulous. Yeah. Just talking to her, I feel like you've really opened up space for her to have conversations with us about what she's experiencing on her end. And even when she misbehaves, like when she said the F word, like instead of you doing what most parents would be doing, either hitting or like right away discipline, you're like, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, and I wanted to laugh.
we all
it was a shock,
that.
But it's like, when those things happen, it's like, I want to laugh right away.
Because you can't correct after. You have to correct in the moment with the right behaviors. And that's the part where I'm like, good job. Because I was like,
Yo, that's a hilarious
that
mom.
was wild.
Like you said, I don't want to be. I want to be a strict, not strict, but I want to be a stern parent in terms of like how she acts and all kind of stuff. I don't want to be strict where it's restrictive, but I want to be stern, and I want to speak to her in a way that she can understand and we can have a conversation.
Yeah. I think you're doing a pretty good job at being stern most of the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, bedtime is the one time where it's like you just like
when she's crying in that mode, or when she's like
you literally like. So you can be manipulated easy when she's crying.
Yo, when she's well, it depends.
Well,
like if she's crying for sleep.
Daytime cries, you're like, girl, you have words that you can use.
Exactly.
And I think that's also a really great quality is you encourage her to use the skills she's developed.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to falling back on being a baby or being younger than she is. You're like, no, you are at this level. You can perform and express yourself at this level.
Absolutely.
And I think holding her not accountable. Well, yeah, you're teaching her that sense of like accountability, but also a sense of like
just ability in general. Like
like ownership, like taking ownership of your abilities and really empowering her to be better. And I also think you really encourage her to try new things. So that risk-taking aspect, that's something I'm afraid of because I'm like, is this a good enough risk? But I feel like you're really good at calculating risk.
Yeah.
And employing that as a parent to support her taking risks. And I'm like, how'd you do that? Because it usually works out. Most of the time it really does work out. So I'm like, that's a great skill, but it's not something you can, I don't know how you learn that. Or it could be just upbringing. I don't know. But that's a really good,
I couldn't tell you.
Great parenting.
Thank you.
On that level. I'm just
like you.
I'm very impressed.
Trying to take it one day at a time.
Yeah. And there's so much to learn in this.
There is.
Honestly, from day one till now, even when you could barely really be a support, like in the breastfeeding and like, you know what I mean? You're still actively parenting where you can. So it's like, let me swoop in if I can do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think you're a great parent because I'm not going to use being active as a baseline because I don't think that should be a baseline of being
like just being around.
Just being around is not a baseline for good parenting. I think you're a good parent because you're involved emotionally. You're very responsible when it comes to her well-being.
Right.
And again, you hold her accountable in a way that's reasonable to her age.
Absolutely.
So
I don't expect more than what she's capable of.
You say sorry for doing something wrong. Not like you say sorry and you write an apology note and you need to.
No, I just want
to being able to let go of that feeling of being upset at her.
Oh,
that you're really good at that. I need to.
It's hard.
It gives me a moment. I think I need more time than you, but you're teaching me as well to like.
When she
let it go.
If she like just dash something on the ground or hit me or whatever.
After you just taught her and like, or when she throws her food and something really makes a mess and you're like.
When she knows she shouldn't, but it's like. I figured we're still in a learning stage. No matter what it is, she's trying to test her boundaries and it's a learning stage. So even if she's hitting, even though I have to constantly remind her, because as long as she's not hitting other people, cool. Hit me and we're going to have a conversation about it. But as long as you're out there, I don't hear from your daycare that you're out there hitting kids and doing all that kind of stuff. Cool. We're going to continue practicing the reasons why we don't hit other people while we're here. So you can keep learning that it's not something you take outside.
Like, it's also hard because we know she's like, well, I say she's a Leo, but she's really not forward thinker. Like she's headstrong. No, I don't think that's the right word.
Not headstrong, but she's
a strong personality.
She's a strong, and she does believe whatever she thinks is right.
She's a strong personality, but it's like having to work with a strong personality, but also not dimming their light.
Yes,
I think that's an interesting balance that we have to like now figure out.
Yeah, so that's where the encouragement side comes from. It's like, okay, as much as I want you to listen to people, I still want you to believe in yourself, to understand yourself, and to be able to speak up for yourself. And I think
Sheldon taught her affirmations. Yeah, I wasn't the one to do it, but Sheldon taught her affirmations. And I was just like,
who do you think I got affirmations from? Who do you think I learned affirmations from?
And it's weird because the practices I use for myself, it's like when it comes to her, a lot of the ones that are a bit more external, like affirmations, I forget.
Right.
Like I don't know, you should do this. Yeah. So I'm happy you did that with her because I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that. But I just didn't like imagine it. Whereas I'm thinking like, I would love to do yoga with her.
Yeah.
When she gets an age, maybe meditate and stuff like that. But yeah.
I mean, it's easier for me to do because these are newer things that I've had to see you do.
True. Fair enough.
And then I'm like, oh, that actually could be a good skill to pass on to a younger child, especially a Black girl in today's society. It's like, okay, from jump, I want you to definitely believe it. I don't want you to wait for someone else to validate who you are.
Yeah.
I want you to know it from when you're young.
That's
and kind of grow up with that. So you, even though if you're Leo and you're headstrong, you're fiery and all that kind of stuff, at least you know who you are and you're not waiting for somebody to tell you who you are or to build up your own confidence. No, you know it from jump. So,
very, very powerful. I like that.
Thank you. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad I had a daughter first. I would have taken anything, but being a daughter or having a daughter, it kind of like, not only do you like see more of a woman's plight, and the things they've had to experience and the issues they've had to deal with growing up as a woman, and you see why certain women have not necessarily daddy issues, but like the opinion of a man means so much to them.
Yeah,
and they do all these things for a man. It's like, okay, I can recognize why or how you could get to that stage if you weren't.
Sean, you're not recording. Okay, so was there anything that you learned about me witnessing me as a parent?
Witnessing you as a parent, I saw the anger that you have, the fiery side of you in having to deal with somebody who doesn't understand. So I think, and that's not like, as an adult, you don't really see that from somebody unless they're frustrated with something or frustrated with somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very interesting to see that frustration with your daughter.
Yeah.
And see who you are in that frustration and how you deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a side of you that I didn't really have to deal with.
Yeah, that's true.
When we talk, we have to learn how to communicate.
It's true. It's crazy. You learn how to communicate really well with a partner, but you can't figure out how to communicate with someone you don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, yeah. I think that side I've really started seeing, but it's okay. I see you go into it and
pull myself back out.
Yeah, which is how any kind of person should handle being frustrated with another person, especially a child. True. And I think as we learn more about her and we go through life, there'll probably be more moments as she gets older and it's more willed and strong-willed.
Oh my gosh.
But we just have to continue learning how to deal with it. She's really
going to keep going.
And go for it.
She absolutely needs to.
I hope she continues to learn.
Yeah.
That way, when she does say something, she actually is right about it and like proves us wrong. Type of thing where I want to be like, oh, okay.
It's a real journey of learning.
Yeah.
Like this is really a real journey of learning.
Because reflective like of you with us with our own parents.
Yeah.
How we're at an age where, yes, we are the ones who are right. And you, in fact, are still the ones who are wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? Even though you're the parent and have more experience.
That switch is going to be interesting.
Like eventually there's going to be that moment where, they just know more.
That's facts.
Or are more experienced in certain areas, or things have changed and we just didn't keep up, and they're bringing in new information.
That's true.
So
I think I wouldn't say I've seen the fiery side of you, but I have definitely seen your frustration more.
Yeah.
Because like typically you're not the type to get very frustrated with anything.
Yeah.
So I have seen it, but it's so like there's like so few times that it really happens.
Yeah.
But I've seen your softer side. That's what I've seen. Like I've seen you have your soft moments.
Yeah.
And you're really caring and understanding, but I've seen the softest version of you that I've ever seen in my life.
It really brings
like
it
just
out. Like
tears for her. Like did you see what she did? Like, wow, I don't know.
Yo,
I want to cry.
I think I cried one time when she was just telling a story, like making up a story.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Child, you're so amazing.
Are you crying now? Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, what you crying for me? Oh, Sheldon.
It's always for her.
Hold on.
No. I'm good.
No, honestly, yeah.
She
really did. She got you right in touch with your heart and your softest
side. I thought you softened me up a little bit, but no.
But I guess it was preparation.
Yeah.
Thank God. But no, it's crazy because you're not a hard person.
Nah.
But now you're just like, this is the beauty of life.
You know, it really brings understanding. And
it's actually interesting because it's like I've been so tapped into my soft and my emotion.
Yeah.
It's like, it's funny parenting if I was to look at it like holistically.
Sorry, before this, I realized, so for you, I'm more of a support. So when you were like, when you're going through things or you're crying, whatever, I'm more of a support. So it's not really for me to tap into my own softness at that.
Absolutely.
It's just for me to like support you and be a stronger person or whatever.
Yeah.
But for her, there's like, even if she's going through something, it's not even, I'm tapping into a softer moment because
that's what it requires.
Yeah. I'm not even trying to be soft. Like, I'm not trying to be a support where I'm hard for you. It's just like, just seeing things and understanding is like,
yeah.
It's an amazing experience, man.
It is. So interesting. But I was going to say, I think you have tapped into your divine feminine.
Wonderful.
As I've tapped into my divine masculine. But you know what? It makes perfect sense. I'm going to write about this because I'm just thinking, I feel like my ability to focus and push towards a career, like the more masculine side of things, I guess, it's so different now than it was before having Phoenix. Like it's a different push, like no more BS, just do what I gotta do. Right. Whereas prior to really tapping into that side, it was like there's confusion.
You're in and out because you're like, I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I have this child to take care of. This is like a sole responsibility. But as she grows and matures, and she's at daycare right now.
Yeah.
Right? And your ability, your focus can now switch to be like, nah, okay, what is the thing I was trying to really do and achieve that?
Right. And for you, look, you just need a bit of softness.
Hey, it's nice.
To now be able to really understand when a person feels.
I think it definitely allows for the space of empathy to grow and the ability to empathize with somebody, or even to try and understand why you're going through the thing you're going through, because you can't communicate it that well, but take the time to really try and figure out, okay, what it is that you're going through and express it, and help you to express that portion of it.
True. And this is why we need more parents in the world.
Do we?
Who are ready to embark on this journey of self-learning.
I think it has to be an intentional parenting situation.
Yeah, I agree. Because
it's one thing to like have
children, but if you're not willing to actually go on this journey of self-learning as a parent, and also I think this underscores like the importance of having a partner when you have a child, and someone who's really supportive. And a partnership, like a real partnership. And it doesn't mean you have to be married. It doesn't mean you have to be in like maybe a long-term relationship. But if you guys are going to support each other, if you guys are doing an arrangement where it's like a friendship, like it's recognizing in this friendship, we're building a friendship of support in parenting.
It's like, necessary with everything we have to do right now. Like, having to work, having to provide, having to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It takes a toll to now also want to be a good parent or be a parent.
Yeah.
Where you're not going to be successfully, you're not going to be able to do all of it by yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So
you can, but it's work.
Yeah. If you don't like work. You don't like sleep, you don't like your own, if you don't even like, because you're going to lose out on yourself.
And it's also community.
Yeah.
Like that really helps support whatever efforts we're putting forth towards Phoenix. Yeah. Because in a way, even though we don't like what all of our grandparents do all the time with our daughter in terms of like what she's watching and just, how she spends her time. At the same time, it shows her people are different.
Yeah.
They're not all going to be the same. They're not going to reinforce the same values and the rules. But you have a base of training and you go forward with that.
Yeah.
And you appreciate them for what they're offering.
People are going to support you in different capacities.
Yeah. And you got to accept.
Being able to have capacities with people or have support with people. Then
it's a big difference.
It's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And you
as long as they're not doing something to harm your child or turn her into like an evil beast, like you're good.
Yeah. You know how much time they can spend with whoever.
Yeah.
That's what's really important.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move right on to our next area of this focus for the podcast. Because I know it's snowing outside and
it is.
We're going to have to go get her early.
Yeah.
So completely random thought.
Let me hear
/ question. Would you consider yourself a new age parent? or old school? What does that mean to you?
What it means to me is, am I like my parents and grandparents or not? I can say as a parent, because if I look back to my grandparents, I now realize they were grandparents with me.
They were
grandparents. They weren't parents to me.
Okay.
They were now that I see how my parents and your parents act with
as
Phoenix,
grandparents, yeah,
I recognize that my grandparents, they were just parents or grandparents to me. They didn't take on the parenting role.
Yes.
So besides my mom's mom.
Yeah.
But that was more so because she was staying with us, like taking care of us and stuff, and was very strict. But
yeah, she didn't want to step into a grandparent.
That was that. She raised too many kids and she didn't have no time to be a grandparent. She has way too many grandchildren.
That's true.
To be a
because those were her kids.
Yeah, she had kids and nieces and nephews and all that kind of stuff. That makes a lot of sense.
That gives some understanding.
That now brings context to why she was
like that.
She didn't need to be like a sub. Oh, it's my first. This is probably your last grandchild that you're gonna see. So
no, for real.
No, she did her thing, and I can appreciate her for who she was.
Now that you have some context around it. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Look at the learning.
I know. But in terms of my parents and the parenting style, I would say I'm newer age than they were.
Yeah.
I put more focus on understanding versus just telling.
Yeah.
My way.
Yeah.
I think I can recognize that, children can bring knowledge and understanding and things you can learn from them as you're teaching them.
True. What's interesting? Because I'm thinking about my parents too, and I'm like, I can't necessarily say my parents were that old school.
Yeah.
Like when I think about it, because I don't feel like my dad for sure was very old school with us. He did resort to old school methods of discipline when things were going left, but he didn't. In terms of like strictness and like, you don't have room to talk.
Right.
He allowed us to speak. And I would even say my mom too allowed us to speak.
That's good.
But the difference wasn't just their maybe level of understanding for what we're experiencing, but they couldn't. They were immigrants to this country with a whole new experience. And
my parents, the way people talk about how their parents beat them and all that kind of stuff, I didn't experience that. Like, the only time I'd even get close to that level of having to be disciplined in that manner, I'd have to be very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't.
My mom hit me a few times, but I know she was really frustrated with me. And when I think about it, it's like, the one time
that. The one time I know I got draped up hard was
you deserve it.
I deserved it.
You deserve it.
Spoke to my mom in a manner that I don't think she was disrespected. My dad put me in my place as any father should if his wife got spoken to that manner.
Like, I'm not pro beating your children.
No.
But it's like based on my place at that time and the way parents parent back then.
Hey, they only had time for so much.
That was what was needed for me at the time, and they did that.
Yeah. You did that. You put us in our place.
But no, my parents really in raising me, I feel like they ate.
They ate. Are you trying to be a new age parents?
Yes. No, I say that only because I had the freedom to be myself.
Right.
And I had all the resources at my fingertips.
Yeah.
The things I wish I could have had, I don't know if they could have learned that anywhere. Like there weren't parenting books for parents like that. There weren't
even if there were, I don't think they're really reading
gurus on TV.
You know what? You're right. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have the things we had, like resources we have now.
Like how we said, there's those nice questions you could ask your kid that will change things. Parents didn't have that.
Yeah,
and
you'd
also,
have to go to a class to learn those kind of things.
And as immigrants, from my side of things, they were like, their focus was making sure that we could have a home.
Yeah.
Like
home,
once we left housing, their goal wasn't to even be in housing. It was literally to just be in a home that they purchased.
Right.
Like that was, we need to get to this goal so that things will be better for us. And like, it was, I guess, a source of pride for them. But that was one of the main things. And make sure your kids go to school, make sure your kids learn, make sure they are able to take care of themselves. So their focus was so different, but even with the difference in focus, they still really gave me space to thrive. And I also owe this to my middle sister, who really tested the waters and went for it and just took all the beatings.
Hey, as an older sibling, I understand.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do to make it easier for your younger siblings.
For real.
Or you basically, like you said, you're just a testing ground for your parents. And parenting, and they learn from your experience. So yes, they may be tough at first because they didn't know anything else. They didn't
know. They fall back on things that they've seen. Yeah. Like, what did their parents do to control their kids? And like,
then once they experience it, like, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Even my next child does it. It's okay. Because we already went through that. And we learned that experience.
In facts. And it's because the control thing. Yeah. The new age parents to other parents, they lack control. But it's like, it's not a lack of control. It's how you use your resources to enforce understanding and to guide. And I realized my dad took on the role of guide earlier than probably most parents.
Right.
Like, I can't control what you're going to do. Yeah. You are now going to make these decisions. And I'll never forget when he said that. He's like, at some point, because I think with me and Merlin, she was a bit difficult at a point. And he's like, Mel, as parents, and you know how my dad talks. So...
with wisdom.
As parents, there's a point where we're no longer the parent. We're just a guide. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love that. Like, I was all like, yeah, that's profound, but it's true. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You can give me guidance, and I have an option now to choose to listen or not. Yeah. And a lot of things they were right about. Some things I don't know if they're right about, just because my life worked out anyways.
Right.
So it's interesting.
They only can guide so much, right?
Facts. There's only so much guidance.
They only know so much. So they can do so much.
I don't know. I don't think I think I'm more of a new school parent, though.
I'm newer school. I don't know if I'm the newest, but
no,
definitely a newer. And when I say new school, it's just you're responsible. It's not like you're a parent who's like, God, do what you want.
Do what you want. Like, that to me is not new school. That's just not a good parent. Like, but new school is like
the parenting choice of like understanding
and taking stuff. A stance of not trying to control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you got to learn.
So yeah. You're going to have to learn and make some mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So that brings us to our
the most
out of this world.
important part of this whole thing
discussion.
Is we are going to educate you on something new today.
Yeah. Are we? I guess.
Maybe.
Honestly, this was a great conversation about parenting. And I discovered a lot. I think it's nice to pick up the other parent, to pick up your partner in their parenting efforts.
Absolutely.
Because, like,
I mean, where else you can hear
amazing.
It?
Amazing. Yeah.
Who else is going to know you?
Who else is that close to see that?
To see what's going on.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.
No problem, babe.
All right. So this last question. I don't know if anyone's seen 3 Body Problem.
First of all, we want to show you guys this new
Netflix series.
No, I'm not going to put it there.
Yeah.
3 Body Problem. Yep. Check it out. Just released on Netflix.
You can put it up for like a second if you wanted.
Okay.
But that's extra editing too.
No, it's okay.
But
anyways, 3 Body Problem.
It's based on a book.
Based on a book that I've read multiple times, and now I've gotten Melissa involved as well. And she's actually thoroughly enjoying it. There's about 3 or 4 parts to this whole story.
Yeah.
Different books. But they released the show on Netflix. We just started watching it. I think we're 2 episodes deep. Check it out. Maybe we'll talk about it as we progress and finish the whole series. But definitely read the books. This is my first, like, I've never been a book and a movie person before.
Yeah.
Like, I've either just watched the movie or just read the book. Mm-hmm. But this is my first experience of like reading the book and then watching the show.
Yeah.
And seeing how much they leave out of certain things.
Man, it makes me want to go read Harry Potter.
Right. Because you don't know now. You don't know what's in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Because I love the movies.
Yeah.
But I wonder. Well, you know what movie I did that with? Hunger Games.
Oh,
so I read the books.
Oh, okay.
So I know there's some injustice there for me.
Okay.
In how they did certain things. And it's not just about the race of the character. It's about the storytelling aspect of it. And I don't think, obviously, because it's print, you really have to hone in on the skill of storytelling. But in movies, you're supposed to be able to do that too.
Yeah.
And I feel like it takes a really special director.
You have time constraints.
Yeah.
Whereas
to be able to do.
You literally look at how long a book could be. It could be like 24 hours for them to read out this book to you.
No, for real. Right?
But in a movie, you only have 2 hours to work with.
Yeah. So I understand the cutting of many elements, but it's just like, for example, like the sister, when she...
Was this Hunger Games?
Hunger Games, yeah. When she passed. No, honestly, reading in the book, it was super emotional. I remember because the way they told that part of the story was just so like, oh my gosh. Yeah. You couldn't believe this just happened. Like they did such a good buildup and it was shock. Yeah. Whereas in the movie, it wasn't shock. It was just kind of like, oh no. And so you're seeing it coming really quickly. And so you're just like, damn. Because you're sad because you like the character, but in the book, you're like, oh no,
you really experienced it.
Yeah. So I'll never forget. I cried. I really cried. Wow. I took the pictures.
Just teardrops on the page.
It was crazy. It was dramatic. But anyway, so 3 Body Problem. That's what we've been
watching.
Definitely.
I recommend reading the book. Check out the series. Still, the visuals in the series have been pretty good. So far, visuals on
visual
point. Wise, it's been on point.
I think we're at a point with CGA that CJ.
Nope, CGI.
Who's CGA?
CGA. That's a different one. That's
a new friend. Animation.
Not even that. It's the
computer graphic animation.
AI version of it.
What's CGI?
Computer graphic integration. I don't know.
All right. Well, CGA, computer graphic animation. And
CGI.
CGI is at a point where if it looks bad, you just didn't study. Yeah, you didn't go to school for it.
You said I can do the job.
Or not if you didn't go to school. You just
found a little program online. You're like, yeah, I can.
You learned off of YouTube.
I can do this. It's easy.
JK. But anyways, yeah. So, okay, watch that.
Yes, watch it. What's the question?
Or listen to it. The question is, okay, so in 3 Body Problem, the Earth, the whole planet is faced with some issues.
Yes.
And destruction is...
Nigh.
Looming. Yes, destruction is looming.
Ever present.
And so would you take your family on an outer space voyage with just a couple other families, not knowing where you'd end up or where you're going, just outer space?
Just leave the Earth.
Yep.
Okay.
Or would you stay on Earth knowing it would be destroyed in 20 years with your family and you can keep the luxuries you have and you just have a few more luxuries?
Okay. Let's say we're in a better position than we are right now.
Yeah.
Right? Or at our ideal position.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. And we're like, okay, we got 20 years doing this. Mm-hmm. Or we get on this ship. There's some other people on there and we're going to leave and go on a little voyage.
Yeah.
And me personally, I'm out of here.
Me too.
I don't know if you've met humans before, but when it gets close to the end,
they're bad.
Crab in the bucket type
really
situation.
Bad. That's facts.
When we should be all harmonious and working together and all kind of stuff, they say we need our guns and protect ourselves. And
it's weird because it's almost like they do that out of this idea that somehow the world's going to keep going on.
Or, I don't know. Maybe they think.
No, do you understand? Like,
yeah.
Because you get to that place because you're like, the world's going to keep going, but there's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure I have all that I have. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. Yeah, I would 100% be off this planet.
I mean, it's
in
only
a heartbeat,
20 years
especially
anyways.
A couple of families. And like, I don't want my kids' lives to end in doom.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to have the potential and the belief that you could come across something better. Being in space can be
just as hard.
Well, this is the thing.
That's the thing.
In space, it's just
like,
an abyss.
What are you eating? Ideally, what if they just have the preserved food?
Well, this is it. They're gonna have. It's like GMO. It's just GMO. Like so, everything is like, it's not fresh. You're not getting fresh food.
Or what if they get to the point where they can like print food? Like we have 3D printers, but now they can inject like this food compound.
Yeah.
And it prints with flavor. Like it adds little flavors and prints your food there.
Yo, I can't wait for that day. I know it sounds wild, but
I'm surprised they don't have it now.
I know it's probably like the equivalent to GMO and to all that.
It is, but we
at
have
the same time, like
chemicals to make flavors.
We have all the chemicals.
Yeah, we have the chemicals to make flavors. So why wouldn't we just?
Sorry.
Anyways. But anyways.
Come, Luna. Luna, come.
here, Luna. Come sit down.
Come, Luna. Come sit. Luna, come. Come here.
Treat.
Come, Luna. Up. Come.
And I said the magic word. Go sit down.
Sit.
Go sit down, okay? Go sit on your chair.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'm gone.
Yeah, me too.
Just to experience it. I mean, if life's gonna end here anyways, let me go try something.
Let's see what's out there.
See outer space.
Yeah, no. I know we're gonna go through growing pains. Yeah. But at the same time, we'll have to form new ways of being a family, and not just a family, but new ways of existing in the middle of nowhere.
And who knows, maybe if it's not just us and a bunch of other people, we all just have to learn to coincide.
We're going to have to learn to coexist.
I think we're common enough people to be able to work with other people.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to harm us. And then
facts. But that's not part of the story. So
we chose we vetted the right people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like close enough.
Yeah.
So
like the people we actually know right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those families.
You just don't have the luxury of what it is on Earth. Like you can't go to a beach.
Yeah. There's no
you want to go outside.
You can go for a
space
walk.
You go on a simulation.
There you go.
Maybe that's what you have more.
Simulated beaches.
Also, based on like the hibernation discussion in the book, I'm like, okay, so you probably can hibernate.
Like, okay, they're gonna take you out there, right? But we're gonna hibernate until we find a new world. I don't even know if I want to start a new world, unless we have like robots that can help build everything. I'm like, yo, the starting fresh on a new place with nothing is crazy to me.
It's crazy because we haven't had to do it.
We barely do. Besides camping, we barely do anything like that right now.
That's true. I know. I think about that when it comes to like new world exploration and all that sort of stuff. Like the settlers showed up. Not even the settlers. Let's talk about indigenous people. They literally had to clear land.
Yeah.
And maybe with their hands at first.
Yeah, until
they can make a tool.
Created some tools to actually do things and survive.
And then now think about other people, the colonizers. They came from another place. Sure, they had some tools, but at the same time, you're looking at a forest.
Yeah.
And you're like, we need to set up a place to sleep.
Let's go.
Well, you don't know what's there. There's bears, wolves, anything.
Building a home, like having to cut down trees.
But you came from this, and you're going into the bush. You're looking at the bush like, all right, we're going to have to make something out of this. Yeah, yo. I think for us, it might be a bit difficult. We're going to have to prepare for this trip in space.
But I'm sure if we can go for a space exploration, there is resources that we have to now
help us prepare ourselves in other places.
Even if it's like
at the same time, we don't know because another planet may not be forested like what we know forest as. So it could still be the same. And that's what I wonder, actually. We should find a scientist to prove or disprove this. If another planet has oxygen that can sustain humans, does it mean the environment will be the same as Earth? Or can it look entirely different? Different animals, different beings, different whatever, and still have the things that sustain humans, like water and oxygen.
Could. Find out.
Yeah.
On the next episode
of Mel Shel. I honestly want to bring a scientist on here at some point, and
we know
maybe
spaces.
Eventually we could bring.
We know places we can go to record.
Yeah, true. Because this would be interesting. But
that's it for tonight. I don't want to edit anymore.
Yes.
See, alarm's going off and everything.
That's right.
Thank you guys for watching again. This is Shel.
What? What? Well, thank you. Okay, fine.
What is that?
It's in when they're voguing. I see them do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but
peace. I'm out. Love you.
We'll see you guys later.